If you are thinking about moving to West Windsor, New Jersey, there are 7 things you need to understand and know first. In this video, I am breaking down what West Windsor really is, how the train shapes it, how the schools drive it, and what buyers constantly maybe misunderstand before they move there. Welcome to the Wilton Report. I am Josh Wilton, and I co-own and run the #1 boutique real estate brokerage in Central New Jersey and Princeton. And I've helped thousands of people buy and sell real estate, and I use that experience to help you make smarter decisions when you buy real estate. By the end of this video, you'll know whether West Windsor actually fits your goals and not just your search online. So first things first, let's talk about West Windsor and what I call the Princeton mailing confusion. So interestingly enough about West Windsor, so when you move to West Windsor, there's probably a 50 to 60% chance you're going to have a Princeton mailing address. What does that mean? It means you live in West Windsor. It means you pay West Windsor taxes. You vote for West Windsor Township officials. But because of the way that the post offices are set up down here, right, you will have a Princeton mailing address. Now, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, even the Princeton BMW dealer, the Princeton Volvo dealer, they're in West Windsor or even Lawrenceville, but they all use the Princeton name for branding and postal reasons. So don't be surprised if you're looking online at the house you're looking at, it says Princeton, it's West Windsor, right? So again, the Princeton mailing address covers about 70% of the West Windsor population, and that's 08540. 08550, which is Princeton Junction, is the, I would say, central eastern hub of the neighborhood, of the town, and it covers the neighborhood by the train station. So Princeton Junction is probably the most famous neighborhood in West Windsor, and it's the neighborhood right around the train station. So that brings us to point number 2. Is it West Windsor or is it Princeton Junction? And the answer is it's West Windsor. Think of it like this. West Windsor's the state. Princeton Junction's the capital city, meaning West Windsor is the municipality. It's the township. Princeton Junction is a neighborhood within West Windsor. It is not its own town. It does not have its own mayor. It doesn't have its own town council. It's just a neighborhood, a very vibrant one within the township of West Windsor. So again, West Windsor is the legal municipal authority that collects your taxes, provides the police, maintains the parks, runs the school district. It covers 26 square miles. Princeton Junction is a neighborhood inside of West Windsor. It's not a separate town. It's a specific neighborhood, and it's centered around, unsurprisingly, the Princeton Junction train station. So West Windsor used to be a farming community, right? It was potato farms. I heard at one point it was a lot of pig farms. I don't really know that factually, but somebody had said that. But according to ChatGPT, Gemini, and the West Windsor Municipal website, it was a very famous for its potato and dairy farms. So again, the town center back then wasn't Princeton Junction train station. It was Dutch Neck, which is south in the municipality. In 1863, the railroad became aligned on the Northeast Corridor, which is, I think, one of the busiest railroads in the country, that particular corridor. And because the tracks bypassed the center of Princeton, a spur line had to connect the two, right? So the Princeton Spur became known as the Junction to Princeton, which we call today, for short, Princeton Junction train station. So that's where that came from. So again, a lot of people are confused when you see Princeton Junction, West Windsor. Just understand this, right? The post office screws everything up, and it is what it is, but everybody goes to West Windsor. In West Windsor, the train is king, right? You will be shocked by the number of people that live in West Windsor specifically for 2 reasons: amazing schools and access to the train. So again, I've always maintained real estate is not about interest rate, it's about jobs. And in this case, access to jobs on the Northeast Corridor. So on the Northeast Corridor from West Windsor, you can be in New York Penn Station in 55 to 60 minutes, assuming there's no delays. So hopefully I don't get any hate online for that statement. If you live in Princeton, you can take the Dinky train to Princeton Junction and connect north or south. But again, you can commute to Midtown Penn Station in about 55 to 60 minutes. It is also a massive place for Wall Streeters. So Wall Streeters do not go all the way to Penn Station. They will get off in Newark Penn Station and take the path, usually, right? And take the path over to Wall Street. So again, you're going to take the train and you can be on Wall Street and in your office in about 60, I'd say to 75 minutes, depending where your office is downtown. So again, one of the things I will tell you, right, is that you want to sit on the front trains when you're going to Newark because it gets you off faster and gets you on the path faster. Now, New York is a massive job center, but a little bit south of West Windsor is Philadelphia, is its own job center. So again, there's actually 4 options to commute to Philadelphia. There's the local, right, which connects to SEPTA. There's Amtrak Direct from West Windsor. Some residents of West Windsor will drive to Trenton. Some residents of West Windsor will drive to West Trenton, which is a more accessible train station. So when you're commuting to Philly, right, there's a few different options. You can do Amtrak or you can do the local. But man, if the train is the king, the schools is the queen and the emperor. The West Windsor Plainsboro School District, because it's paired up with Plainsboro, which is a town that's right next door to the northeast of West Windsor. It is any given day the number 1 or number 2 school district in the state of New Jersey. You know, New Jersey gets bagged on by a lot of people. We get a lot of shade online, like, my God, I made a post that the schools in New Jersey were good. Everyone just jumped on it. But here's the reality. The West Windsor Plainsboro schools are some of the best in the state, which makes them some of the best in the country. There's a total of 10 schools between the 2 districts. The elementary has 6 schools, Dutch Neck, Maurice Hawk, JVB, and Town Center. Grades 3 and 4 and 4 and 5 go to Millstone River and Village School. There's 2 middle schools. There's Community, which is Plainsboro, and there's Thomas R. Grover, which is West Windsor. And then there's 2 high schools, West Windsor Plainsboro North, West Windsor Plainsboro South. South tends to accommodate more kids from West Windsor. But here's the thing. The average SAT score in West Windsor Plainsboro is insane. The average is 1,400. That's the average is 1,400. So that's an amazing number. So why would people move there? Because if I want my kid to get ahead and I want them to get a good SAT score and I want them to go to a good college, I will move to that district to get them in those schools to make that happen. So if everybody wants to throw shade at New Jersey online, you can, but I can tell you that people are moving here definitively for the school district, as well as access to jobs. Interestingly about West Windsor, so West Windsor's community, as is Plainsboro, it's not quite cut in half by Route 1. So Route 1 is a pretty busy highway. It's a 2-lane highway on either side, so it's 4 lanes. West Windsor has the south part of West Windsor, which is south of Route 1. Then it's got a whole section north of Route 1, and then it's got the Route 1 corridor. So north of Route 1, there's Canal Point, there's Colonnade Point, right? There's Princeton Green. These are planned subdivisions with HOAs, right? There's Penn's Neck, which is right down the road from Princeton University. It tends to be pretty popular for that. The issue, if you have kids with those neighborhoods, is they are crossing Route 1 to get to the middle school and high school. Just something to think about. Dutch Neck tends to be much more historic. And then there's the Princeton Junction neighborhood, which is right around the train station, which again has morphed from Cape Cods and splits. They're building a transit village, which we'll talk about. And there's townhouses, there's villas. I mean, there's apartments, there's a hotel going in there. So it's really, the Princeton Junction neighborhood is really, I think, one of the most vibrant neighborhoods in New Jersey in terms of development. It's a really exciting place to be. And that brings us to point 7. West Windsor traditionally had no downtown. It was a sleeper community, right? You got off the train, you went to bed, and if you wanted to go out to dinner, you had to go to Princeton. Plainsboro built a town center. Robbinsville built a town center. West Windsor had not. So this town center that they're building was approved in 2009. It's being built. It's 2025. So it just gives you an idea how difficult it is to build in New Jersey. So West Windsor lacked a traditional Main Street, right? They're building a transit village now. So again, in that transit village, we'll have a pedestrian-orientated Main Street. It's going to be, I think, upwards of about 50,000 square feet of retail. It's going to have walkability to the Princeton train station. So again, it's shifting that whole area around the train station in West Windsor from parking lots and emptiness to a hub, right? And the hotel, from what I understand that they're putting in, is going to have a rooftop restaurant. So it's going to become its own destination. So what does that mean? Will people not come to Princeton, go to dinner? No, of course they will. But I would say that finally the West Windsor residents are going to have their own options to do retail, shop, and not have to leave town to go out to a town center feel. So again, if you're considering West Windsor, the most important thing to understand is this. It's not Princeton. It's not Plainsboro. It is its own, I think, one of the most amazingly diverse, scintillatingly busy real estate markets on the East Coast, if not New Jersey. It's not Princeton, but it's deeply connected to Princeton. And it's not a suburb. It's a commuter hub that's transitioning to a destination. So it's a really dynamic place to live and work right now. And again, it's got amazing schools, but it's not just about the school rankings. It's about the infrastructure. It's about the demand. It's about the corporate parks on Route 1 where people can get up, drive to work, be there in 5 minutes, and never have to get on the train as well. So if West Windsor's on your short list, make sure you're evaluating for all the right reasons. If you haven't hit subscribe, please do so. My name is Josh Wilton. This is the Wilton Report, and I'll see you next time.